Now we can hear from every teapot that the market will continue to fall. In general, the trend is clear. The problems in the economy, key rate hikes, recession, high inflation, blah blah blah. The consensus is that the market is going to continue to fall. But when everyone in the market says the same thing, it means the exact opposite will happen. At the end of 2020, you could hear from every teapot that US dollar will continue to get cheaper. And this was exactly the time when the dollar reversed its direction. On my channel, I was analyzing the reasons of the current inflation hike. It is not only about the trillions of dollars that were created out of thin air by the central banks and thrown away to save the economy during the pandemic. This certainly accelerated inflation too, but the main reason is the pandemic effect, so to speak. For example, when the pandemic began and airplanes abruptly stopped flying, people stopped traveling and driving, so the income of energy and transport companies has collapsed. Some of them went bankrupt, some of them started to sell their assets to survive and cover losses. Then, as life began to return to normal, the demand for the goods and services of the affected companies skyrocketed, at the same time when the underinvestment of the industry faced a sudden increase in demand, which certainly affected the rise in prices. Of course, the trillions of dollars that were created out of thin air also had their effect. But I want to note that basically all the trillions were printed in 2020, while the acceleration of inflation began sometime in the second quarter of 2021. The FED, on the other hand, just performed an 180-degree turn, because only a year ago Jerome Powell was saying that everything is fine, don't worry, everything is under control, we will only raise rates just a little bit in 2022. Now they are ready to raise rates already up to 5%. According to some forecasts. But imagine now what will happen in the near future. I can tell you what, the situation will be the complete opposite of the current one. Thanks to excess revenues, energy companies that spend money on equipment upgrades, investments will face reduced demand due to the recession that started due to the key rate hikes around the world. This is already happening in the shipping industry. In one of my videos, I said that the situation in the shipping industry will inevitably normalize eventually. However, I did not even expect how quickly this would happen. World Container Index has already collapsed by more than 2 times since its peak a year ago. The demand has returned to normal, oil prices are falling, and thanks to excess revenues, the shipping companies bought new equipment, new tankers, and as a result we see a significant drop in the cost of shipping. The economy is cyclical, as I always say. In sectors of the economy where there was a glut, there will be a shortage. If there was a shortage, then there will be a glut. And now, add here the overly expensive dollar, increased unemployment, high base effect, the absence of economic growth, inflation will just return back to 1% or maybe even become negative, i.e. there will be deflation. In such situation, the FED will of course make another 180% degree turn and say stop, enough of key rate hikes, let's turn the money printer again.